So hey guys, so I'm Swarsha from first year EC department. I'm so happy and excited to start this webinar. So first of all, I would like to thank our institute and the organizer for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to host this webinar. So to introduce about our speakers, so first we have Rupashri Akka. She is an associate solution engineer at Pegasystems. She is an alumni of CIT and she graduated in 2022. And her achievements are she is a Smart India Hackathon 2019 winner. And then we have our Sharan Rajana. He is an incoming software engineer intern at Amazon. And his achievements are Asian India Hackathon 2021 winner, Smart India Hackathon 2020 winner, IBM Hack Challenge 2020 winner, and Mozo Hack 2021 winner. TechGig Code Gladiators 2019 top 15 finalists and TechGig Code Gladiators 2020 top 30 finalists and IBM Hack Challenge 2019 top 30 finalists and IBM Hack Challenge winner. So then we have our Vignesh Anna. He is a final year CSE student, incoming project trainee at Zoho. His achievements are he is a winner of Smart India Hackathon 2020 and he is awarded by Accenture as Industrial Innovator. So to start with, as a first year students, my friends don't have any idea about what is hackathon. So can you please give us a small or a basic idea about what is hackathon?
Thank you, Swasha, for the welcoming. So, hello, all who have joined this webinar and for your eagerness and excitement to know about what is hackathon and how to participate in hackathons. To know more about hackathons, for a first year student with a basic knowledge, what are these competitions and what are these hackathons? Let us know some points about what are hackathons, what is the use of participating in these hackathons. So basically, when we come to college during your first year, we will not have any basic knowledge. There are two types of people coming from computer science background or bio background. Either you might have some basic knowledge in the computer science background, or you will have zero knowledge. So for all kind of students, from starting from the first year, there is no restriction in whatever the year you are studying. There is no restriction, and you can participate. Start from your first year. You can apply for various number of hackathons and participate in hackathons. So the use of participating in hackathons is, first, learning is very important. So you can learn a lot of things. You can learn either different programming languages, you can learn different frameworks, but learning continuously and learning a lot is okay, but not implementing what you learn is not okay. So you should also implement what you learn. So I would say this hackathons is the best place and best choice to learn what you implement, where you'll develop an entire end-to-end solution on the real-time problems posted by the industry people or the government officials. You'll come across various lot of problem statements, real-time problem statements, and you'll have an opportunity to develop a prototype or a real working solution for that. So that is the best way, right? When what you learn, you'll implement in that. So I would say it is the best way.
Rupashri sister, can you?
I can't hear you.
Thank you, Ka. So we got a great idea about what is hackathon. So can you please share us about your experience about the hackathon and the competitions?
Okay, coming to my experience, during our first year, even we do not know we have these kind of opportunities and this kind of, we got to know from the college and from our seniors where they initiated participating in hackathons, and it was the first time they participated, still they won it. They won the first prize in the national hackathon, Smart India Hackathon. So from our seniors and from our college, we got that inspiration, and we started participating in competitions. Not only hackathons, we'll also have some other online competitions and offline competitions as well. So I started participating in competitions right from the first year. I still remember my first competition. It was a very basic kind of application. We know it was not that much impressive, but still, you'll get a chance to implement, you develop on your own. You can still develop your own application. You can see the output that gives you a lot of happiness, and that still uh, that still provides you a lot of motivation for yourself. See, I have developed this application, I could see the output, so that will give you more motivation to develop more applications.
Vignesh brother, can you say your experience and the life journey about this
Yeah, thank you.
hackathon?
So I'll just start with like what is hackathon. So basically, hackathon is an event which is organized by any companies or any institutions to solve the problem which they are facing in real time. So basically, there will be companies which is having some kind of problems. So they'll be releasing those problems as a problem statement to the participants, like to the college students or who are is taking part in that hackathon. So we will have to analyze the problem statement and then find a solution for it. So there'll be basically 2 to 3 phases in hackathons. So the initial phase will be idea submission phase, where we'll be analyzing the problem statement and we'll be submitting a small presentation in which we'll be specifying the solution for it and how we are going to approach and solve that particular problem. Like if you're going to develop a mobile application or website and by using what software technologies, so all these things will be mentioning in that presentation and you'll be submitting for it. So if this is the most crucial phase, like there will be most number of eliminations in this idea submission phase. Like only a few teams will be selected for the main hackathon, where you'll be given a chance to develop the particular prototype or the entire application. So this is how the hackathon starts, and this is the idea submission phase, which will be taking part initially.
Thank you for this valuable words, sir. And I request the Sri Saran Raj brother to share his experience.
Yeah, so good evening, guys. So my experience started with the Smart India Hackathon 2019 when I was the first year when I was a first year student. Me and Vignesh were also in the same team, and at the time we had a little bit knowledge about all the technical stuff, but still the amount of competition out there was very high. So we just randomly selected six problem statement, I guess, and we developed a good proposal. Like they have for each and every hackathon they have a particular template in which you have to follow. For Smart India Hackathon, they will post all the problems in the official website, and you can select whatever tech stack or whatever technology that you are comfortable with, and you can develop the proposal by typing out all the architecture design and the features that you are going to implement in a PPT, and you have to submit that. And my PPT, our team PPT got selected for one problem statement, and we were called to the on-site round, which is held in Noida. And talking about these hackathons, if you get selected for the final round, the entire organization will take care of all the like travel expenses, and they will provide all the like fun stuff like food, everything. So we went there. The competition held for about 2 days, and we were continuously coding for about 2 days straight, and we developed an application. But still we were not that much great in technical side because we were first years, but we gave our best. So we got about third prize in that competition, and like it was a good experience. I didn't want the first competition that I participated, but I was happy enough that I reached to that level. But after that, I started participating in small hackathons, in inter-college hackathons, and I developed some more knowledge. And the main thing about hackathons is you can connect with a lot of people. So when you go to these final rounds in on-sites, you will have all the geeky people like you who are in the same room. So you can talk to them and you can say that, okay, this is my solution. What are you doing? And maybe you can take that number, maybe you can have that idea and you can implement that idea in your next hackathon. So I kept on doing this, and I kept on practicing like this only. And so that was my first experience, which is Smart India Hackathon 2019.
That's really great, brother. And there are a lot of questions on the hackathon, like
So Shrihita, let's start with the first question. So there is a boy named Sai Siddharth who asked, when we have multiple interests in software, how to find out this is the one I need?
Okay, let me
yeah,
go.
only a short question.
Okay,
There
if
is
you
a
have multiple interests, see for that question, multiple interests in the sense you will be learning either programming language or a specific tech stack like MERN or React, some frameworks. So whatever you learn, you can develop the prototype of your choice of the tech stack of your choice. But for some competitions, for some hackathons, they'll be specifying the tech stack that you should use this tech stack. So you can see all the details on the provided on the problem statement itself. So you can choose your own tech stack. But still, if you do not know the
and
tech
Dhanush
stack,
done.
I'm sorry. I'll just say a point. So, but still, if you do not know the tech stack provided in the problem statement, you can still learn and do it. That's not a big problem. You can still learn it. That's how we actually learn.
So next we have Danush. He asked that I am a zero level programming knowledge. How should I start my programming career and where should I start?
Yeah, so I would like to answer that question. So if you are a very basic beginner, what you can do is you can you can pick one programming language. It can be C, C++, Java, Python, or anything. Just take one language and learn the basics, like what are the operators, what are the basic functions, and basic concepts. So once you're good with a particular programming language, try to improve your problem solving skills. So do that one side. So that will be useful for your problem solving skills as well. And when it comes to development, you can choose either any tech stack. Like for example, you can choose web development or mobile app development, and there will be a broad classification in each and every tech stack. For example, you can use multiple languages. You can use Python for mobile app development. You can use Python for web app development also. So choose any of that one, like web or mobile app development, and start doing that. But everything will start from learning a basic programming language. So if you are a beginner, I would definitely recommend you to learn Python, because in your first semester you will have Python as your academics. So it will be very easy for you to learn that. So yeah.
Yes, brother. And also there is a question from the Sai Siddharth. When we have a multiple interest, sorry, the same question. There is a question from the Joseph Peter. He's saying, what is the basic knowledge we need to participate in it? What is the basic knowledge we needed?
So I would like to say that first you read the problem statement and find the innovative solution for it. The getting shortlisted for the hackathon is very much difficult. So if you have a logical thinking and you can think a good idea, you can directly go and submit an idea. And if you're selected, if you got selected for it, and then you can sit and learn and try to develop it.
So
Okay,
thank you,
brother, that's really
Vignesh. Na. So you are telling us about the problem statement. So can you tell us briefly what does that mean by problem statement?
Okay, like problem statements is like, okay, I will just share my screen, and so it's like basically the problem which the organization is facing. They'll be giving into 2 to 3 paragraphs or 2 to 3 lines. So it's like a question or the requirements. So the requirements that the organization need or which they are looking for, which we need to solve and address by developing the solution. So in the meantime, I'll try and get a problem statement and share the screen.
okay, brother. That's thank you for this. And there is a question like, what are the sources are available apart from college to know about the hackathons?
Okay, so there are various websites that offers a lot of hackathons. So the first one is Devfolio. So even if you open Devfolio, there will be like around 10 hackathons they will be posted right now. So note that Devfolio, and you can also check out TechGig, Hacker Earth, and Hacker Rank also, because all these platforms conduct hackathons, and these hackathons are also associated with some hiring drives. So if you perform in that hackathon, you can get a job as well. So Devfolio, TechGig, and HackerRank, Hacker Earth, all these websites. So if you just simply search that on Google, you will get the link.
Thank you, Na. So we have Yashwant Kumar. He has questioned that what would be the best programming language other than Python?
Like I would like to say, you can also learn JavaScript. With JavaScript, you can develop mobile applications as well as websites, and also you can concentrate on developing the backend for your website as well. So JavaScript will be a good one.
Thank you, brother. There is a question from the Rupan Vishnu AIDS. He is asking about the purpose of a hackathon. Purpose of the hackathon.
So, like the purpose of the hackathon is to get solutions from the innovative minds across the world or across the country. Like, for example, if it's a national level hackathons, then they'll be getting ideas from various minds across the country so that they can solve the problem in a better way.
Okay,
So
brother.
thank you,
And
Anna.
also,
So we
and also
have
he's asking that does hackathon teach coding or conduct only competition?
No, it's not a tutorial or training platform, but it's like a live competition. But while developing, you can learn and develop things as well.
Okay.
So I'll just share my
And-
screen. I got the problem statement example.
Okay, brother. Sure.
So this is the SA's 2020's problem statement. So there'll be a lot many organizations like this, and they'll be giving out one line or two lines like this, and they'll be having some categories and what we are supposed to develop. So here is one such problem statement, which is our problem statement. So this is the problem which we addressed during Smart India Hackathon 2020. So this is an example for problem statement. So here they are given design a GPS-enabled online academic monitor system to track classroom transaction and to provide feedback and review to teachers to improve their pedagogical practices by monitoring authorities. So they'll be giving like one word or like this one line, so which we need to analyze and take what is required out of it, and we need to develop the solution accordingly. So that was one example for problem statement.
thank you, Anna. So here we have Dinesh MS. He asked that are hackathons organized randomly or are they periodically organized?
Like there are some established hackathons like Smart India Hackathon, IBM Hack Challenge. So all these things, all these hackathons will be taking in consecutive years. Like all the years, hackathon will be organized by that particular organization. This is one type, and another type is any colleges will be hosting hackathons. So all those things may be taking place in randomly as well.
Thank you, brother. It's really great. And there is a question from the Karthik Raj. He's asked, what is the difference between the Google Summer of Code and hackathons?
So Google Summer of Code is an open source contribution, right? It's an open source contribution. It's not a kind of a competition. It's like an internship that is provided by Google. It's not a kind of an internship, but it's like a period where all the open source contributors will select a problem statement and they will contribute to that particular organization. But in that case, Google Summer of Code will happen for about, I think, 4 to 6 months, and you have to, like, it's similar only, but you have to do the proposal, and if it gets selected, you will contacted by the organization, and you will have a 6-month period, I think, and they will give you the problem statement, and you have to develop the application for that. But where in hackathons, you have to develop the entire application in about 2 or 3 days maximum, and you will be given a very comparatively very small amount compared to Google, and you have lots of perk when you work in Google as well. Like you have a lot of goodies, and you will also have some advantage to get a job at Google as well. Like Google Summer of Code and hackathons are completely different, I guess, because it's open source and hackathons are not open source.
Thank you, Anna. So there is a question from Tarun Balaji from CSC department. He asked that HackerRank and Letticode from first year. Can we do that from the first year for beginners?
Yeah, I guess I think LeetCode is one of the best platform to start off if you are a beginner. Like if you don't know anything about coding, just go with HackerRank and learn the basic programs that will develop you some initial problem solving skills. But once you are good with a language, then definitely jump into data structure and algorithms, because at the end of the day, everyone wants to get a good job, right? So if you practice data structure and algorithms very well, at the end of the fourth year, you will have a better problem solving skill than the others. I think LeetCode is one of the best platform to learn data structure and algorithms. That will definitely help you a lot in placements.
Thank you, Na. So then there's a question from Karthik Raja. He asked that can we get internships by winning the hackathon?
Yes, like it depends. Like, but mostly, if the hackathon is organized by any established organizations, they'll be obviously giving internships in their companies by seeing how we develop the solution during the hackathon period. If they are interested, they will approach us and provide intern opportunities as well.
Yeah, I would like to add one point. So, at the year of 2019, I participated in the IBM Hack Challenge. So, at that time, I visited the IBM. I was selected for the finals. At the time, I visited the IBM Bangalore office. I was one of the top 30 finalists. At that time, I didn't won the competition, but still, I contacted to lot of HRs. Like there were a lot of IBM people that were working right there. So I talked to them and I discussed about I came like in the top 30. I want to do an internship with your company. So I contacted them and they did all the procedures. I had the test, and like you have a internship opportunity even if you get selected for the finals, because you will get to know about you will talk to a lot of people. So that's the best part of hackathons, I guess. You can connect to a lot of people, and once you win the competition, for example, if you win IBM Hack Challenge, definitely they will call you. Like I had an internship opportunity for IBM in the year 2020, so they will definitely call you if you get selected for IBM. So and IBM Hack Challenge will happen in around August, so keep an eye on that.
Oh,
Good.
thank you,
Thank
Anna.
you.
So here we have Mageshwaran Muruganathan. So he asked he has registered for Zoho hackathon and he got selected. So he needs to contact you. How can they contact you? They are asking.
Yes, we'll be sharing our mobile numbers at the end of the event, so they can contact us, and we'll be in the college only, so they can approach us near the final year class.
Yeah, those two guys like Vignesh and Sharan, they're still in college. But if to contact me, they can contact me through LinkedIn or I can share my email ID both in chat.
Akka, can you share your tricks and the tips for this hackathon? How to go through?
How to go through? I mean, how to develop the application or? Okay. There is no tips and tricks. Sometimes it depends. Like, see, there also, if we take one problem statement, they'll just give not the entire description. They'll just give the problem in a one-liner and the description about that problem only. So that's where our innovation and creativeness comes into picture. So we can add some more features, our own points, our own innovations to that, adding, say, for example, they asked the midday meal application. So to develop an application for a midday meal program or for a classroom students to monitor the students. So we can add some more features using, that's where there is no tips and tricks. And when you go and participate in the hackathon, after each round there'll be multiple rounds of judgments, and after each round even you will get tips from judges. So they will also add few points, and you can still at that point of time you can still add those features to your application. So there is no shortcuts or tips and tricks. So you have to put your own creativeness and innovation into that.
Like I would like to add on one point as well. Like whatever you develop at end, the way you pitch and the way you present the final product will give you an edge over the other teams who is taking part as well. So the way you pitch the final idea will be a key.
Thank you, Alna. So here we have Kavi Rajar from AIDS department. So he asked that how do organizers select participants based on the presentation? So they basically ask about the selection process of hackathons.
So multiple, even lakhs of applications, they get lakhs of applications, but they'll select only few. I think thousands, not even out of lakhs, they'll select even thousands of applications. But to get shortlisted, your presentation, basically your idea, your solution description should not be more than, you should not describe your solution in paragraphs. They should, by seeing your presentation, they should be able to understand the solution. They'll hardly spend a minute or two for your presentation, for every presentation. So in that minute or two, whatever the solution description, whatever the features, whatever the tech stack that you're using, that entire, all that thing should be put into your presentation, and that should be crisp and short. At the same time, brief.
So that was so great. Thank you, Akka. So then we have Rohini. She asked for a platform for studying Python within 3 months. Best platform.
So like that's no like time load, like within 3 months I have to learn, or within a week I have to learn. So it's like a trial and error method. Like we need to get the basics, and then you have to go on develop a project and see like in which level are you. And while developing, you will be getting some opportunities to learn some other new things in Python itself. So it's not like if I'm completing 3 months in Python, I'm going to develop anything in it. So that's what it is.
Anna, there is a question like it is an individual, individual team or individual or team event. Is it a hackathon? Is an individual or team event?
Hackathons mostly it will be a team events, so it will be a team of 4 or 6 based upon the organizers. So you have to plan and form a team. Like the coordination between the team must be really good, and obviously you need a front-end developer and back-end developers. Apart from that, you need a presenter who can pitch the solution to the judges. So you must tick all these boxes while forming a team and developing.
Okay, thank you for this. And
so then there's a question: what would be the basic requirements to participate in hackathon?
There are no basic requirements. I would say there are no any basic requirements. So even if you have the basic knowledge, you can start participating in the hackathon. There is no restriction for you. No one is going to stop you. You can still apply and get shortlisted and participate. So there is not any specific requirements, because it differs for each hackathon and competition. So the tech stack you're using, maybe for some hackathons it may be the same, but for some hackathons they'll be specifying the required tech stack. So it differs for competition and another competition.
okay, sister,
Thank you, Akka. So then we have a question. So I am just starting my engineering career and very much interested in developing my skills and participating in hackathon. How can I start myself in this, like step 1, step 2, and step 3, and so on?
Okay. Step 1, first start learning some basic programming languages. Any one. I would say choose one and go deep into that. You can learn multiple languages, but not knowing that deeper in, I mean, knowing some, I mean, part of everything is not okay. So select any one tech stack or any one programming language and go deep into that. Start from that, and then whatever you have learned till that point, start participating. So that's it, I can say. Don't wait for the opportunity, don't wait for the time, because I still have to learn a lot to participate in the competition. We should wait for some more time. No, whatever the basic knowledge you have, start participating and start developing with that knowledge you have at that point of time. Eventually you'll learn.
So thank you, Akka. So then there's a question from Rohini. So she asks the best portal to excel in Python. So suggest some portals or websites for Python, learning Python.
So just to learn Python, I guess you can use Solo Learn because it's very useful for beginners. And if you want to practice the techniques and the concepts, you can use HackerRank, because if you do this both together, I think definitely you will excel that in 3 months. Solo Learn is an app and it's also on the website also. So you can use that to learn, and you can use HackerRank to practice.
Thank you, Anna. So there is a question from Dharanya. So she asks that how to prepare for hackathons. How you
I
all
guess
prepare?
Yeah, so I guess there is no preparation for hackathons, because if you see an opportunity, just apply for that, and if you just get the requirements and then just see the problem statement and do whatever you think. Okay, so you will get the basic idea. Just do it as a PPT. Once you get shortlisted, you will go on site, or you will meet a lot of people. So ask them, like, this is my idea. What are the features that I can improve? So I think this is what the basic preparation that everyone does in hackathons.
Thank you, Anna. There is a question from Adi. How do I get notified about hackathons, and where can I see the list of hackathons happening across?
Yes, like there are many portals like Hacker, Earth, and then TechGig, and Dare to Compete, where there'll be a list of competitions that are available. So you can go and check there as well. I have also posted the link in the chat as well.
Okay, Anna, thank you for this.
So there is a question from Logesh. So he asks us about the competitive programming.
Yeah, so this is the best question that I've seen so far, because when I was a first year student, I didn't know what competitive programming is. But in my fourth year, I feel very bad that I didn't start competitive programming or DSA. Like, I started learning DSA at my second year, but I feel so bad till now because I didn't do competitive programming. If you do that, if you have knowledge about competitive programming, or if you're interested in competitive programming, I would highly recommend you to start competitive programming, because these competitive programming will give you a very good knowledge about problem solving skills, and that will improve your speed in coding and everything. And all the placement drives, for example, if you take all the big tech companies, for example, Google, Facebook, or Amazon, or like all the big tech companies, their interview level questions will be at the competitive based level questions. So if you are interested, definitely do that. So if you want to start how to do competitive programming, just simply learn a language, just learn all the basic data structure and algorithms, go to LeetCode, just practice a few problems, and go to Codeforces. Codeforces is the best website to learn competitive programming. So yeah.
Which coding, which program, Python, which is useful for competitive programming?
For competitive programming, like whenever if you ask what is the best programming language, like everyone will say that there is no best programming languages, because every programming language has its own benefits. So take any language, whatever you're comfortable with, Python, Java, C++, everything. But when it comes to competitive programming, everyone will choose C++, because C++ will have faster compilation speed. So everyone will choose C++, but you can select whatever you want.
Okay, brother, thank you. And there is a question from G. Mohan Das. Where can we learn to start learning competitive programming from scratch?
Like I said, just select one programming language, learn all the basics like functions, what are functions, what are operators, how to write a basic recursive function, all those basic concepts. Learn all that and go to data structure and algorithms. For example, how a sorting algorithm works, how an array works. Once you do that, go to HackerRank or go to LeetCode. I think HackerRank is better because HackerRank will have these very basic problems. Practice that, get a knowledge about how problem solving works. Once you have done that, maybe move to LeetCode and see that if it is okay for you, like, because a lot of people don't use LeetCode. So just practice. If you are okay with it, just practice a little bit, because that will give you a good knowledge about data structure and algorithms. So once you're done with that, just go to Codeforces. So if you type in Google Codeforces, you will have the website. Try to give contests every week. Like Codeforces will do about 3 contests per month. So do that and maintain a very good rating. So in competitive programming, they will have this rating. So for example, in chess, we will have the grandmaster, international grandmaster, right? So in competitive programming as well, we have the kind of rating. So if you have very good rating, and if you post that in LinkedIn, I'm sure that every recruiter will DM you about, okay, there is an opening in my organization. Do you want to give an interview? This will definitely will happen. So because that's why I started doing competitive programming. So if you start that in your very first year, and if you practice that regularly, I'm sure that by the end of the 3rd year, you'll definitely reach candidate master. And if you are a candidate master, then definitely you will crack all the big tech companies like Google, Facebook, all these things. Yeah. So
Thank you, brother.
note that codeforces.com.
Yeah, for reference, I've pinged that learning platforms in the chat. You can make note of them.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, system.
So the next question is, I have gone through few hackathons where only pre-final year students are eligible to take part. How can we explore those hackathons?
So those pre-final year students who are eligible is just like those are like they'll be giving hiring opportunities in those hackathons. So that's the reason why they are specifying pre-final year students. But still, if you are very much interested, you can just take part in it and explore it if you want to know how the hackathon works.
Brother, I want to ask a question. We can participate from the beginning of our
Voice was breaking.
can competitions for the hackathon.
So what would be the difference between the hackathon and the hiring challenge?
Not all the hackathons you'll get opportunities, but still, if you're in first year or second year, you'll not get hiring opportunities, right? There you can participate in hackathons to explore and to get connected to people and to develop your skills and all of those stuff. And for hiring challenges, when you're in third year, pre-final year, and when you're in final year, you can participate in the hiring challenges where you get an opportunity for internships, or maybe you can still get an opportunity for a full-time offer. So right from the first year you can participate, but there are some specific hiring challenges where only pre-final year or final year students are eligible to participate.
Yes, also there is a question, the difference between the hackathon and the hiring challenge.
Thank you, Akka. So next, can you tell us about something about the self-learning tips, something like that?
Okay. So to talk about self-learning, so now basically before coming to college, to our college, so we are all used to that classroom kind of teaching, right? So unless some teacher comes to the class and they'll teach something on, but they'll write something on board, and we'll make notes, and then we'll read out the notes, and we'll go to exams and write something, and we'll get the results. So, but for self learning, we'll not wait for someone. We'll start learning by ourselves. We'll start exploring. We have nowadays the biggest advantage is we'll find everything in YouTube and on the internet. So it is the biggest advantage. You can still explore many resources. You have many resources available on the internet, and for everything you have tutorials available on the YouTube. So you can start learning by yourself. So by watching all those tutorials, and that's what I told at the very beginning. You can still learn, continue to learn, but you should also practice what you learn. So until you practice, you will not get anything. Like maybe I can still be learning, I'll be watching tutorials every day, but I'm not practicing anything, still I'll not get anything. You have to learn and you have to practice. So and you have to start doing it by yourself, and whenever you need some help, you can go to some person, like I got stuck here, you can help me with it. So that's where you can develop your self learning capability as well. So and I think you will have a lot of opportunities for self learning in our college. You can utilize that.
Thank you, sister. There is a question like, what is ILP in our college and how is it is useful? What is ILP?
Okay, ILP is basically, what is ILP? It is Innovation Learning Program. So introduced for the students, and where you have different center of excellence. You will have centers for I think now there are center for AI, center of excellence for AI, and you will be having center of excellence for core mechatronics and mechanical labs. You'll have, so there are different center of excellence for all the departments where you can spend your time and start learning. And for maybe for electrical people, mechanical people, mechatronics people, it'll be they'll still experience that real time development, right? So for us, we'll be seeing everything in books and reading theoretically, wherein when you go to lab and you can develop it and you can experience that in real time. So
Okay,
you can
sister,
you can
thank you.
utilize that center of excellence programs.
Thank you, Akka.
Thank you, Ka. So can you tell about your first hackathon? The experience on your first hackathon?
Okay, my first hackathon. Okay, so when I was in first year, we are not aware of these many kind of opportunities, and we are not still aware of this kind of hackathons and competitions are going on. So by the time we got a chance to participate in a hackathon, I think my first competition was organized by Anna University. It was Mobile Garage Hackathon, and a team of 3 people from my batchmates. So we participated in that competition. We did not win, but still we got an experience. We got to know how to improve a lot. That is our very first experience, and that was really very useful for us for the next time when we participate for the next hackathon that we participated.
Thank you, Akka. And there is a question for Sarananna. Please share your experience in ILP and what you do there in day and day out.
Yeah, so like Rupaka said, ILP is a center where you can go and you can learn whatever you want, and it is for all departments, not only for computer science and engineering department. So, like what I will do is like most of the time when I have competitions or when I am preparing for competitions, I will go to ILP and like I will stay the whole day right there. Like you will have all the internet facilities out there, and you can sit in whatever lab that you like, and I'll just go and I'll take my laptop and I'll just plug in the LAN cable and I'll just start learning whatever I want. And I have also attended my Smart India Hackathon 2020 final presentation from the ILP itself. Like I think that's a lucky charm. Like I won the competition as well. So like most of the hackathons that I participate, I'll go there only. And recently, I participated in one Asian India hackathon. At that time, it happened online. At the time, there was no power in my home, so I took my laptop and I went to college. I think that was even on Sunday, I guess. And the ILP is open all the time, so I went there. It was Sunday, but still you have all the facilities and you can use it. So yeah, so that's my experience in ILP.
Thank you,
That's
Anna.
fine.
So, can you tell us about the first experience of your first hackathon experience?
Like the first hackathon experience is my Smart India Hackathon 2019. Like I said, I was a first year student, and Rupaka was my mentor for that competition. So, uh, there were about 450 problem statements that were posted by the SAH in their portal, and I chose about 6 problem statement, and I developed a PPT. Like, this is my solution. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a web application, and this is what I'm going to do. Like, all the architecture diagram and the use case diagram, everything. I did all that and I submitted through that portal. And about after 1 month, I guess I got shortlisted and I was called to for the on-site round, which is the final round. So for each problem statement, there were about very few students got selected. So for example, for our problem statement, there were about only 4 teams who got shortlisted for that particular problem statement. But if you see the competition out there, like for each and every problem statement, there will be around thousands of teams who will be pitching their ideas. So you have to maintain a very crisp presentation for that, and you have to submit that. And I did that, and I went to Noida, and all the travel expenses was taken care of my organization, and the competition held for about 3 days. And I did all the coding stuff and everything. And unfortunately, I didn't won, but I talked to a lot of people. That's the best thing I feel, because I learned a lot in that competition, which is the first step for
Thank you,
me.
brother. That's really. Thank you,
So,
brother. That's really great. And I want Ganesh brother to say his first experience of hackathon.
Ganesh bro is set to join, and my experience is also same since I was a part with Saren in the first Smart India Hackathon 2019. So like he has shared that experience. So I'll talk about some other hackathon which I took part after that. So we actually participated in an hackathon called as Angel Hack. So at that point, we just went in blindly. We actually don't know like with which we are going to develop the solution, because it was an open innovation challenge. Like when it comes to Smart India hackathons and other such hackathons, they'll be giving out problem statements, and with that we can get the requirements and try to build it. But when it comes to open innovation challenge, we need to build something on our own with our own ideas, and it must be something new. So that was really difficult. We were just sitting and we don't know like what are we supposed to build. And like the hackathon was around 36 hours. For 24 hours we were just thinking like and planning the process itself took that much time. So even the first few hackathons we will not be able to win. We can gain experiences and we can work on it. So after that, I took part in Smart India Hackathon 2020, and then in that hackathon, actually won it. So obviously, you can't. It's very difficult to win the first hackathon, but as we progress, we can easily win it.
thank you, Vigneshana. So, the next question is for Rupaka. So, what are the sacrifices you made in your career with respect to hackathons?
Sacrifice, I think not any sacrifices, but sometimes there'll be, I think for it is specific to some girl students. Telling to specific to girl students. So there'll be if when you're participating in hackathons and when you got shortlisted, you'll get an opportunity to travel to different places. That hackathons will be organized and conducted. Not all hackathons are in Chennai or in a single place, but you'll get a chance to, you have to travel to different places. Sometimes maybe for not all people it is easy and they'll not be allowed. So I think at that point, for that point, I think I had some difficulties, but later I was able to do that. So for the first time when I wanted to travel to a different place, I had a difficult time, and later I got used to that. Apart from that, there are no other sacrifices to participate. Actually, there are, you do not need any sacrifices. You do not sacrifice anything. You will get to learn more, and you'll have some add-ons. You will gain more experience. You will gain many things. You will not lose anything.
Thank you, Akka. So the next question is, how are college and faculties are supporting us to take part in hackathons?
So, if we are performing good and we are disciplined in our academic classes, then obviously uh, n- they'll obviously allow us to take part in any competitions. We no need to go to academic classes and attend those things. We can go to ILP and take part in hackathons as well. And we also have mentors assigned to us with whom we can discuss and uh, gain more solutions for our problem statements as well.
Okay, Anna, that's nice. There is a question from the, what are the situations you faced in the hackathon? Issues.
I would say that this might seem funny, but when it comes to hackathons, when you are in the final presentation, everything will be an issue for you. Like at the time, your internet will go off, and at the time when you are presenting an important feature, your laptop will hang. Like, like other than that, the main issue is the miscommunication is the main issue. When it, like, you will read the problem statement and you will have a rough idea in your mind, and when you talk to the organization, then they will tell us a new problem statement itself. Like that may sound a new problem statement, but like you, like, let's say you have like around 10 features for your problem set for your solution, and when you communicate with them, and if you say like these are the features that I'm going to do, they will say like, okay, like these are the these features that we don't need itself. So I think the miscommunication is the biggest issue in every hackathon. So like whenever you go to a hackathon, the first step is go to the organization people, tell that what you are going to do, and take input from them and modify your idea according to that, because this problem will happen in every hackathon. I have faced this problem in almost all my hackathons.
Thank you, Anna. And also there is a question like, hackathons are essential for the placements, and how hackathons are helping us in getting getting
Like,
good job.
yeah, hackathons are essential for placements. Like I won't say like it's completely, it's not essential, because what hackathon will give you is it will give you an real-time experience. Like if you are going to work in a project after 4 years, like after your academics, like you will have a small glance about what you are going to do in the hackathon. Like that will give you a glance about what you are going to do in your career. So like I would say like definitely hackathons will help you to build your resume, because if you achieve something in a well organized hackathon, definitely you are building your resume, and that will give you some a slight edge over others. And if you are if you have won a very good hackathon, like for example if you have won an international hackathon or a national level hackathon, or a hackathon that is conducted by a big company, then definitely they will call you and they will provide you placement. For example, I got a call from IBM when I won IBM Hack Challenge 2020, and they called us. They gave interviews, and they did all of these things. But if, let's say if I'm a person who don't participate in hackathons, then what I will do, I'll go to the page and then I will upload my resume, everything and all. But if you participate through hackathons, that will help you to skip the line. And definitely in current situation there is a lot of competitions like to get into those big tech companies. So participating in hackathons will give you a shortcut, definitely.
So thank you, Anna. So there is a question for Vignesh, Anna. So you are awarded as Young Innovator by an industry. So how you got it? Which company awarded it? and what you did for that company. Please explain.
So yes, I got an award from Accenture as industrial innovator. So basically, Accenture gave us the problem statements like proof of concepts, which they were supposed to patent it, and we collaborated with different teams from our college. Like we had people from mechanical, mechatronics, EC, Triple E peoples who are developing some project which was a kind of an automated vehicle where they worked on the electrical part and mechanical part, and from our side with my seniors I worked on the mobile application part. So we actually developed the mobile app for that organization, and it's currently up and running in Accenture Bangalore. So that's what I did, and for that they awarded.
Thank you, Anna. They're asking closing notes and tips from the hackathon for the
Give us some closing notes and tips, Anna.
Okay. So I think I can give some points in overall, including self-learning, all this. So I'll start with self-learning. So for self-learning, in our college, you have that opportunity of utilizing that self-learning, but still you have to maintain your academics as well. When you're able to maintain that academic balance as well as your this curricular activities, only then you are allowed to use this. So you should balance both. So until unless you are balancing both, I think you are still not able to, you will not be allowed to use all this. So when you are good at your both academics and extracurricular activities, then you have a lot of opportunities and you can utilize all center of excellences in the ILP. So it is all yours. And for hackathons, for suppose if you are participating in your first hackathon, you did not win, please keep participating in the hackathons. Don't be disappointed. If you're not winning, that's winning is not your ultimate point. You're learning something out of that. You'll get connections, you'll get you'll get some experience, you can still develop your skills. So you'll get many points from participating in the hackathon. Keep participating. Even if you win or lose, keep participating. And for example, if you're participating in your first hackathon and you're winning in the right in your first hackathon, so is it okay that I have won my very first competition? Okay, I can stop here. No, you have to still participate. Keep participating to gain more and more experience, to learn more and more. So that will help you. So when you go into an organization, you will get that familiarized feeling. When you are developing all these applications right from your college, you will have that experience. And when you are going to when you are joining an organization for your offer, full-time offer or an internship, you will have that familiarized feeling that, oh, I have worked on all these during my college. So that kind of experience and familiar, that comfortable, you will be in that comfortable zone. So keep participating. Not only in hackathons, you'll also still have that. Hackathons is for application development. You'll also have some online coding competitions where you can improve your data structures and algorithms. So like Codeforces, LeetCode, HackerRank, you can still participate in that coding competitions as well. There will be problem statements for individuals, and there'll be some not kind of application development to improve your data structures and algorithm skills. So keep participating in the competitive coding competitions as well. And coming to this hackathons, there are some government official hackathons like Smart India Hackathon, which occur yearly once. So once the problem statements are provided or released, now you'll be able to, you can still keep an eye on that website. Or now our college itself is providing, is making, is notifying the students about that competition problem statements. So you'll get to know about SIH when that is released. You will get to know about that by college itself. And apart from these government or national hackathons, nowadays recently I observed that some organizations have started organizing and conducting their own hackathons, like IBM. they started conducting IBM Hack Challenge and Zoho. They started conducting their own competitions. Capgemini, Accenture, Infosys. So organizations have started conducting their own hackathons. So that is the point where you will get an opportunity for internship or full-time offer. So this is the difference. So for these kind of hackathons, I think first year students and second year students may or may not participate. You'll get to know about the details. But mostly these kind of organizational hackathons are for internship opportunities and for the job opportunities. You can make use of them. And there are also some other websites like Skillenza, DevPost, and DevPost and Skillenza, where you will see a mixture of hackathons by different organizations. So there are a lot of resources. So you can make use of all these, and you can become an expert in everything. That's what I can say. And all the best for all students who have joined here. All the best for your. I think you're from first year, right? All the best, and I would say.
Thank you, Ka. Thank you. Sharanana, can you give your closing notes?
Yeah, I would like to add only one point to Rupaka's point. All these government conducted hackathons, right? For example, if you perform well in Smart India Hackathon, the winners will be shortlisted for the further level hackathons. For example, 2 years back they conducted Singapore India Hackathon, where the winners from India will compete with the winners from Singapore. So after 1 year, this changed into Asian India Hackathon. If you perform well in Smart India Hackathon, then they will shortlist a bunch of students. Like it will be very, very less, and they will shortlist a very small amount of students, and they will let them to participate with 10 other country students. So I participated in that competition, and it was a great experience because there will be a lot of perks, because obviously it's a government the hackathon is conducted by government. So keep an eye on that also, like Smart India Hackathon, Asian India Hackathon, and Singapore India Hackathon.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. So Vignesh, Anna, your closing notes, please.
Okay, we'll keep it simple and tell you learn new skills and then take part in competitions, and then see which parts you missed and enhance those skills as well, and repeat this. That's it.
Thank you, Anna. So, but there's a common question among first years. So they all come from biology background and they join engineering. So what do you think about that? You all were from computer science background or biology background? What are
I'm not from computer science background. So basically our academic structure is very different, because I come from Andhra, where we don't have this computer science in our +2. So it doesn't matter if you come from computer science background or bio. You can start everything from your first year. You still have 4 years of time to start your career. So you can make use of that 4 years. That is a very long time. But just make sure you're using all the opportunities.
Thank you, Akka. So it was a great webinar meet, and we got a lots of information. Thank you for doing.
Thanks for your valuable words and speeches. Thank you for everyone.
Thanks for hosting this.